The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork, pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You've been deceived by an agent of Satan himself. He's evil.
Sitting right here. Come on.
No, he's not. He's not evil. He's just a bit rude.
98 UPD.
Omicron. Good morning, everybody. Hello there. Welcome to Tuesday. It's 5:45 in the Morning Sickness. My name's John Holmberg. There's Brady. There's Brett. Big Dick Toledo's out here. Omicron is ever present. I couldn't figure out how come I kept putting that to the Transformers. I couldn't figure out how come Omicron kept... Unicron was the giant black hole, ever-expanding planet that became a universe in the cartoon movie.
Oh, I thought it was just you're just going for the Decepticon.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. I thought in my head, I'm like, why is Omicron so synonymous to me with... what's his name? The main guy for Primus, Optimus Prime.
Because he would talk about
the Unicron and all the time. And I'm like, Josh over there at Tactical Black was talking about that. So I'm like, that's why I keep saying Omicron. Because it's a transformer. Do you know why? We were talking about your alphabet there yesterday, Brady.
It's so out of order.
Well, they skipped G, XI, because they don't want to associate it with the president of China. That we're politically correct about Omicron because it has to be done just in case. I was reading an article yesterday. I was like, they did. XI is one of them, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. But
it's further down.
So they went to Omicron because...
Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mu, Nu, Xi.
That's the
then
one.
Omicron.
Omicron. It's crazy.
Yes, Omicron.
So they skipped it because... They don't want to be politically correct with that.
After Omicron, I wonder if they will go to the Pi virus.
Don't know.
The Pi variant.
We'll all be dead by then, according to everybody scared to death of this one. And I swear to God, if I start losing stock money around the holidays because of Omicron, I'm just going to kill everybody.
Well, Friday we did.
I'll be more dangerous than that disease if I'm not alone. You sit there and have that recovery and have these jackasses start spilling all of our money all over the floor again because the fear of a disease, for crying out loud. So what are you going to do?
It'll get you a 400-point dip.
It'll get you more than that. 900 on Friday, wasn't it? And then
it was not,
pop back a little bit. Oh, you're going to get some dips, but
it's funny because everybody's
dealing with that.
Everybody's on one side they're like, don't panic, it's all good, and then the other side they're like, oh my God, this is it.
You'll see panic. Yeah, well, the stock market's a little fragile and touchy. It doesn't like bad news, so. Don't start that crap.
Buy your toilet paper now.
Exactly. Everybody spasm out right now before it's too late. I highly recommend hoarding now. Hand sanitizer, your anti-Omicron defense is stupid. We're losing our minds early. We'll see. Maybe it comes and grabs us again. Like I said before, I didn't think COVID did a very good job the first time.
But even if it does, they're not shutting down.
No. We could have iced about 2 billion people if we'd let this thing flow the right way.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. I didn't want to save everybody. I thought we needed a nice culling. If I was one of the people that fell, so be it. But we did a good job of making that number pretty low. Maybe this one will come along and finally take down a good portion of the society that's driving me nuts so we don't have stock prices losing it. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that's what happens. That's why we hunt. We get overpopulated. A disease comes along, starts making the herd all diseased, and you just have to go out and start going. Maybe one of the animal groups will start hunting us. It would be pretty great. I'm fine with that. Just as long as I can see two things. The end of Better Call Saul, which is coming up a little...
Is that the season?
This is the last season of it, and it's a phenomenal television show, and it's top to bottom. One of the most brilliantly written shows. It's if this ends the way I think it can, it's going to make Breaking Bad second best. Because this thing is going down a road where it's getting pretty intense. Love that. Got to see that end. And then, of course, the Suns. I'd like to see the Suns season and how this all goes. Because right now, tonight's the night. Like,
they're on a
everybody's
roll.
They're rolling. I mean, this could be 17 in a row, and the 17th game would be against the Golden State Warriors, who are absolutely unbelievable. Great game tonight at the Footprint Center downtown, or as the house that Kirby built, we call it. Footprint Center is right there, and Golden State's in town for this is a battle here tonight. And when's the last time the Suns had a November game that the city was actually buzzing about? I sold my I told you I sold my tickets
for tonight,
$500 a piece.
My neighbor did too. He's like,
couldn't help it. I can't. It's the late game, so and those are tough.
Yeah, 8 o'clock start.
Well, and especially because TNT, ESPN's late games for some reason seem to run a little tighter. The TNT ones go late, and usually because the East Coast game drags on. But they'll start at like 8:15, something like that, and then a lot of times those late games go to like 11:30. And I got the H&H Ranch and stuff. I just don't want to be up that late and drag ass in here half toasted from the night before. I will be. And then you got Hopkins and me sitting in that apartment and guzzling alcohol at 11:30. I'm like, this is a bad plan.
Just do a 24-hour binge. Keep it rolling.
No,
when we
those
go
are over. Doesn't happen.
It's Christmas break anyway. Don't worry about it. Everybody's just coasting.
So hopefully tonight, and I'll skip it, the new coronavirus will take over the entire crowd, and we'll lose about 25,000. That would be great. And then every couple of weeks, we lose another 25, because if we're going to get serious about this, let's start getting rid of some folks. I'm tired of this. Everybody's afraid. And so far, there's been no reason to be. Let's go. Let's turn this up a notch, shall we? Let's make this thing dance. If we're going to be afraid of it, let's be afraid for a reason. Took out a whole Suns crowd. And I still got my $500 a ticket. Pretty great. Couldn't believe it. That's a low price. I was looking at other tickets in my section. They're going like $670, $650. And I put mine up for $495 about 2 weeks ago. Just in case they sold it. They were gone like a couple days ago. And then I looked and the prices keep going up and up. The tickets for the Christmas game, they're playing Golden State again on Christmas Day, which is kind of the NBA's real kickoff. $2,000 a ticket. I got those on sale. I thought I cringed hitting the button because it says tickets in your section are going for an average of this, and this. I'm like, I'm usually just a little lower than that. Like $2,000 a ticket for the Christmas Day game? Okay, I'll see what I can get there. It's insane. Caliendo sold his tickets to the Lakers in like March for $550 each. People are this aftermarket thing. People eat this stuff up. It's nuts. And the Suns help you. Like on the season ticket thing, you have buyers. Well, not even that. On a portal, you hit a button that says you want to sell your tickets. You can scalp through the Suns.
Nice.
They used to kind of frown on that.
Well, they're getting a cut, though, right?
Well, Ticketmaster and them have an agreement. So it only goes through Ticketmaster. And Ticketmaster, per ticket, is like $40.
Oh, damn.
That comes out for fees, like the convenience of having that available.
Stroke job.
It's a stroke job, but you know what? It's easy.
Yeah.
I'm literally hit one button, place my price, and it's over.
You don't want to be up front going, y'all need tickets to the game?
I do actually want to do that. Hey, man. I like the old way where they had the pile in their hand.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know how it works. Now
I did it one time.
Oh, I
helped a buddy of mine that was we were in Indianapolis. It was a Monday Night Football, and I wanted to kind of see the whole process. Amazing how they work that.
Awesome. But you did it. Did you get it? Were you one of the sellers, or were you handing out to the buyer guys? Because I want to be one of the pimps that hands to the street people that makes them sell. Like, because they're not like employees. They're just guys you find and go, hey, here's 20 of them.
We bought some, and what was amazing is how many people end up having, you get the right crowd. They're like, we got this pair here.
Yeah.
You can have them.
Yeah.
Or, a handful of that, and then you can upgrade, too. If you end up wanting, we decided let's go to the game. We're on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
The scalper situation is pretty awesome. I would like to be part of that because I was talking to a guy one time buying tickets, and I said, come on, you can't. He goes, man, I don't set these prices. I said, man, right over there. And he points this kind of short but little Italian-looking olive-skinned guy, and he's leaning up. I know. He's leaning up against a pole. He's got his arms crossed, and he's just looking around. And I'm like, he runs this operation? He goes, yeah, man, me, that guy over there, this dude here. And he's pointing to all the other brothers that have got piles of tickets in their hands. They sell for him. They were and they get a cut of everything. And that dude was right there watching, and like he kept him within an eye because I'm like, why not just run off with these and sell? And that dude's he's got his eye on him. And I bet you there's another dude watching real close by too because they got a few $1,000s in their hands.
Oh,
and he'd make a sale, and that dude would come wander over and like collect. Like, you weren't keeping that money. You're not going to have cash in hand here. Have the upper. It was great. And those are the old days of scalping when you had pimps and ticket hoes and then guys with a laser sight sitting on your neck. Oh, that's when it mattered. That's when this country was great.
So did you have to negotiate with Guido the Killer Pimp over there?
No, I didn't. I didn't negotiate.
Oh, okay.
I can't. I'm scared to death of street people. So I went there and he told me his price and I'm like, that seems a little high. That's what it goes for. All right. I just started forking over the cash. I remember once we went to a spring training game. The Cubs were playing somebody over at Hohokam. And that thing used to fill up. But front row, scalped, was like $35 because the tickets were $8, like general admission all the way around. And my friend Adam and I went over there. And the guy's like, you want front row, right? Home plate, front row. And I'm like, man, let's do this. And I'm like, how much for those? And he goes, $85. And I'm like, I'm not spending $85 for a spring training game. Little did I know that would be the going price a few years later.
A regular.
Yeah, I know. I said I can't do that. And he goes, $35. And I'm like, man, you drive a hard bargain. Done. Like, you dump the price down to nothing. But for
the timing when the game starts, the same guy that I went to Indianapolis, he still does it. He two things. He went to the World Cup in France back in the day, and he got he was selling tickets. He had like 10 pair, big money. Mexico was big buyers. Any country that had a lot of vig in the soccer. He got pulled over by the French police. He had $40K in a money belt,
nice.
10 pair of tickets, and they ended up giving it back to him. He thought it's gone.
Yeah,
because he's American over there and they just wanted to make sure he was verified that he could sell the tickets.
Wow. Man,
yeah, that's pretty cool. Old school skill, but he's like a real dude. He's got like a company and licenses and stuff.
But he still goes out to the events by himself. I mean, he came out to that years ago, first Super Bowl, and he'll stay in a crappy hotel. He'll have 16 pair of tickets. But, he was the one that I told you that he went to the Dallas Cowboys training camp before the game, and he ended up getting a couple of he got like 4 pairs from a couple of players.
Oh, wow.
But there's a guy that pulls up. He doesn't know who it was, but pulls up in a limousine. Door opens up. He's got the aluminum case, opens it up. It's cash. And the players came up and lined up, and they're just selling the tickets right there.
They're not supposed to, but they
do.
I bought my Super Bowl tickets from a player for the Cardinals. And he's like, I'm not allowed to sell these for more than face value. And they were $880 face value. And I'm like, that's a great deal. And he goes, but for you, $5,000. And I'm like, what? And it was. I ended up spending that it was a lot. But yeah, I was like, you're not supposed to do that. He goes, I'm not supposed to, but I'm gonna. And I'm like, yeah. I said, nobody's going to catch us. We get like 5 pairs of player. Al Johnson was just.
For some of those guys, that's Christmas.
Yeah, Al was great. Al was a good dude, but yeah, I had to. It was $5,000. I mean, I got the Christmas. It was January. They didn't get them until later because you're right. It would have sold them and had prizes for Christmas all year. But yeah, it was just again not good seats. These seats were not good. It was for the Cardinals, and because he was he was on the roster technically, so he got those tickets. So
IR that year, I think.
He had a falling out with the whole team. I think they cut him. I think,
and then they cut him afterwards. Yeah,
he had rights to the tickets, and they were end zone. Like I was like right on the 10-yard line, second level, about 15 rows from the top. I was in the building, so I was happy, but it's pretty pricey for that area. But anyway, yeah, scalping tickets. I like the old way. Like when I went to Detroit and bought tickets when the Steelers played the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. I know I'm talking about how many Steelers Super Bowls I've been to. I know it's a down year, but it's still fun. Anyway, this other time I went to a Super Bowl, so many. I've been to 4. So anyway, but the guy I bought tickets from popped out of like a church. It was in Detroit. And there's these little like cut-ins. You couldn't stand in a line in Detroit during that time, and a weird door that didn't look like it existed, like Hogwarts, would open, and some dude would pop out and go, "You want some Heineken?" Like, wow, what? And he's like a dude with a chest of liquor. "You want some Heinekens? While you waiting in line?" It's one outside. I'm like, "No, I want some cocoa. Do you have cocoa?" And he was like, "I got Heineken." I'm like, "All right." And he'd stolen tons of Heineken. And then you go up like another, and then something would slide open. "You need tickets for anything?" Some other guy. I'm like, Jesus. So I didn't have tickets yet. Walked by a church in downtown Detroit. I've got $4,000 cash in my pocket, scared to death.
I bet.
And the dude standing and he pops out of this little side of this church. Tickets. tickets? And I'm like, I need some tickets. And he goes, come over here. Like, all right.
I'm dead.
I know, that's what I thought. I'm like, this is it. He knows. What he just said was, do you have cash in your pocket? And I said, uh-huh. So then I walk over to the guy, and he's got the tickets, and I'm like, all right, what are we looking? He tells me his price. And my friend is Steve, and Toledo was with me. We're just taking pictures of this guy. And I'm like, I've got friends photographing you.
Just in case.
If these aren't legit. I said, we're getting pictures. We'll turn your ass in. He started laughing. He goes, it's legit. Don't worry. And I'm like, all right, just so you know, that's why we got photos being taken. He goes, I understand. He said, I wouldn't make my house in front of church if I was going to do that. And I'm like, yeah, you would. That's exactly what you do. That's the perfect cover. This doesn't mean anything to me. You might as well be standing in front of a Jiffy Lube. I don't care. Nothing good goes on in there. And he just tickets were good. So far, I got scammed online once on tickets, but I've never had actual phony tickets scalped. And I watched that guy in Dallas come in, white as a ghost, with a handful of tickets. And he said, I got 15 business coming in. He said, I've spent $35,000 on tickets, and I just found out none of these are real.
Oh, my God.
Because the little, that hologram that they put on the ticket, his was just a little different. It wasn't much, but you put it next to a real ticket. I'm like, yeah, it's like a little gray.
Pretty good knockoff,
something great. It was incredible.
Yeah.
That Super Bowl had a ton of fake tickets. But, I mean, it was just the difference between my shiny hologram on my ticket and his kind of dead gray one. But it wasn't right.
It's
and
amazing.
And he had to buy again because he had people flying in from Japan.
Yeah, he has no choice.
And he's like, I got people coming from another country.
Oh.
My business is riding on them going to this game. And he's like, so I think I probably spent another $75,000 at that point. So because 35 was the deal he got earlier. Oh, got killed. Oh, we were all about
you
to
talk
cry
about the
for
guy
him.
coming out of the church, but it's amazing the opportunities of to conduct commerce. Anything you imagine, like the ticket laminate to put your tin there, they're selling those $20.
Yep, $20. And then pop-up stores. They have
the pop-up stores with
knockoff merch for the Super Bowl that are full at all times. Any store.
If it's raining, the one guy that was moving the tickets that I know, it was in Miami. It started raining, and he went and bought like 1,000 of these little 50-cent ponchos, $20 a piece.
Yeah.
And probably sold out.
And people were so mad. They're like, you're ripping us off. You don't have to have them. It's $20.
But now it's all digital and it's garbage.
I know.
I like the old way where you had to risk your life to buy a ticket to a sporting event. Now you just do it digitally. They send it to your email. It's all so clean and white.
Kind of bougie.
Yeah, it's all Beverly Hillsy bougie whiteness. I like my ticket scalping dark. It's the way it used to be, and it's the way it was good. I like the POC ticket scalping lifestyle. There's some white guy with a computer going, all right, your transaction's complete for convenience, $43. Like, God damn it. Where's that brother that I feel like might punch me and take these back? Where's the whispering? Where's the whispering that makes me feel like I'm up to no good? I don't get that too often. I don't get that feeling like, is this legal? Was what I'm doing okay? I like that.
As long as it's across the street from the venue.
Yeah. Give me something in the Fry's parking lot. Something seedy. I like it seedy. I like it seedy and I like it black. Look, forgive me for saying so, but I grew up that way. That's how you knew. That's how you knew who was scalping tickets. Dude's facing the other way. Black guys. Oh, he's a scalper. If he's not in line facing the correct direction, he's got some. And you just look at him and you give him the look. He's like, tickets. I'm like, come over here. Is this all right? Well, we're not allowed to sell it out here in the parking lot. I'm like, well, we'll be all right. Let's get in the car. All right. Yeah, it's the best.
This guy needs tickets.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's get an extra pair.
I wouldn't like your, do you have an address or an email that I could possibly...
Yuck. What are we doing here? This idiot white.
That's why the clueless Whitey goes down there and is like, oh, well, that gentleman needs tickets. See, he's not scalping. I mean, he needs tickets.
Needing and buying. It's the best. That was the old school way. This computer way. They're still out there, though. I just don't know how it works. I think you have to tap your phone. Now I'm afraid they're stealing all my phone information. That's too much.
Yeah, that'd be...
I saw two people tapping phones. I'm like, what are they even doing? Like exchanging something. I'm like, I don't know how that works. I'm not getting involved in any of this. But, yeah, I sold my tickets for tonight. Good game. But if I sell like 5 games at this fee, I got most of my money back for season tickets because and that including the Christmas game. And everybody's like, don't worry about that Christmas game. It'll sell. I'm like, all right. I can't imagine anybody spending $2,000 a ticket for a mid-season game. But okay.
Jesus.
Christmas present.
It's your neighbor who spent $200K on Christmas
Yeah, it could be
lights.
that guy down the street that decked out his entire yard. I forget people have that kind of poof money. We'll go to a Christmas Day game. It just sounds like a lot, but it's out there. People will throw it out there. So the Suns tonight, though. Suns Golden State, that's a game. It's going to be a hell of a game. And it's November. It's November 30th. It's the last day of November, and the Suns are in a game that the whole nation is buzzing about. I'm excited for this. It's like this could be a real 17 games in a row. I don't care what time of season it is. That's amazing. That's a great run. And I think it ties or breaks the Suns' all-time record for, I think the 04-05 team had a 17-game streak. And then you start getting into I firmly believe that last year's Suns team's the best Suns team that ever existed. And they went to the finals. I still think they're better than the 93 team. They just got beat by just much like the 93 team got beat by a better team. I think this one's actually better. I think they're a little bit they're a little bit more cohesive after 1 year together. It's pretty awesome. It's fun to watch, and they're the most fun. If you're like last night's football game,
I literally didn't even watch that. Ask Brady. He's like, I didn't watch it either.
Nobody you know why? And I figured this out last night. I'm watching the Seahawks and the R words, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what I don't like? I don't like being reminded of political correctness every time they say Washington football team. I don't like being reminded that our nation is so fragile and soft with words every time I watch it. So it makes me. And
You didn't want to watch a woke game.
I didn't want to watch woke football. You're absolutely right. I don't want to hear Lisa Salters talking about some charitable thing, or that's all they do now. They go to the sideline and they're like, his mother died of a drug overdose, and it's like, okay, this tragedy porn that they throw at me during the game, and then I can handle it a couple of times. But when it's just the Washington football team's this, Washington football team, I'm like, God damn it, name them already. Or something, because every time I hear football team, it's the indecisive. We don't have it's ambiguous football that reminds me that it's a woke. We're being woke again. And the NFL, who is just the least woke thing in the world, with their end racism stuff and the end zones and things like that. I'm like, you guys are it's all optics, and it's the hypocrisy of it all, and it's all just to show that they
And some
care.
guy with a
None of
beard and an IPA cheering for the Hawks.
Yeah, it's all family fun, family this, family that. I heard the N-word twice on the there was a mic on the Steelers and Bengals game when somebody went to the sideline and started flexing it.
I missed it.
End race. I know, you'd have loved it. End racism on the end zones. And I'm like, I've always laughed at the hypocrisy of sports going, bring the whole family out. Come on, it's a family event. Brought to you by Budweiser. I'm like, all right, guys. You guys, none of it's all a money event. And it's all about the optics. And last night, for some reason, I got, my stomach started spinning because everybody just ignores the R-word thing. So I don't want to watch the Washington R-words anyway.
I was watching the Beatles cuss on the Disney Plus.
Yeah, I hear that's pretty great. Except for it's the exact same thing as the, what's the damn album?
Hard Day's Night.
No.
Oh,
White Album, right?
No,
No,
it's the
Let It
other
Be.
one. It's
Let
Let
It
It Be.
Be.
Let It Be.
Let It
It's
Be.
the Let It Be documentary.
Yeah.
It's the same exact
With
thing.
added.
With hours of them arguing is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I didn't watch any of that last night. Watched little football.
It is long. Yeah.
The COVID special for South Park I watched a second time, which I really enjoyed. But, yeah. Tonight, basketball. And if you're not having any fun with it is weird how Monday Night Football game can set the whole week off to be like, blech. And that one did it. The Seahawks and R-words that's nobody's excitement.
No.
Even Toledo didn't want to watch that game. Seahawks stink this year. But then now you got to have something fun. So the Suns tonight, that should be good. Game of the year so far. We'll find out what they're made of. Either team, which is going to be fun. If you haven't seen Steph Curry play basketball in your life, he'll make you want to watch basketball every day. I mean, he's the greatest shooter that's ever played the game, period, bar none. Without question. The guy's a video game. And the Suns are the best shooting team in the league. So I'm kind of regretting selling those tickets. But then I'll look at that account when it comes through, and I'm like, I don't regret any of it. That's a pretty good price.
Brian Kelly will buy them all day long.
And Brian Kelly is the new coach. Oh, wow. That was a hell of a move. Goes to LSU for college football has $15 million to pay a coach a year. The players, though.
It's so pure.
For the love of the game, it's a pure love of the game. We can't pay the players. How could we do that? We couldn't function as a college. Our coach makes $15 million a year for 10 years or something like that, 3 or 4 years or something. It's an insane amount of money, and then for them to turn their backs on the players to pay and then sell their jerseys. No, they're not allowed to do that anymore. They tried, and then they got caught with that. It's crazy. It's a joke. It's a joke of an entire sport. It shouldn't be a thing. the way it's set up. And they should just pay them. Now at this point, when you're throwing that kind of money at coaches and they're allowed to have shoe contracts, that thing they did with Nick Saban, I don't know if you ever knew this deal. Alabama paid him, and they're like, well, that's not that bad a price. And then they're like, Nick, you got to get this house on campus. It's a beautiful place. Like $2 million he buys this house. With the agreement, nobody knew this at the time. The school bought it back the next day at $3.5 million.
Oh,
so
man.
they could kind of circumvent the entire, and then said it's yours for free.
What a scam.
And they let him live in it. So they gave him another $1.5 million just to, here you go, buddy. And then, by the way, it's a gift. Here's your house. You can. It's because it's on campus. The school can claim it as their own. Jeez. Nuts. College is such a huge scam. But congratulations, ASU. You get to keep Herm Edwards. So keep your scam going at 7-3 every year. Enjoy the Sun Bowl. Let's get a wake-up song, shall we? 585-9800, a good one. And we'll scream it together. It's 98 KUPD. Wake up!
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station.
He said, fully erect.
98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Morning Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.